this is Dr. Heather Tucker here, and in this video, we're going to talk about how to move forward. I hope you enjoyed the previous two videos on leaning in and letting go. And the reason why those two steps are so crucial is because it is a difference between moving forward out of a place of peace and joy and love and authenticity as compared or moving forward in pain and stress and struggle. And so clearly how we are and how we are feeling, what we say and we do, we feel, right? So how we are will dictate and impact how successful and how easy it is to move forward. So I was talking with my husband this morning and he was telling me something about, yes, I want to get back into my old routine of working out. And my thought was, well, not necessarily, it's not about getting back. It's actually about getting forward, like a new routine, because the same routines from before aren't going to be the same way now because there's different dynamics. New situation, new people in your life, we now have kids, all of that. So it's totally different. Or even I hear people talking about, yes, we're in the pandemic, it is chaos. I get that. And a lot of people are like, I want to get back to the new normal. Well, it's about creating a new normal. It's about creating, when life gives you lemons, we are going to make lemonade. So the question is, are we walking on water, enjoying the process, or are we sinking in sand, struggling to try to get to the next step? See, what happens when there's so much going on in that in the past that you're still holding on to, that's that part about not letting go, it creates that inconsistency in moving forward. What happens when we're so bogged down by the things that have happened? We become paralyzed. We become frozen in time. We stand still instead of consistently moving. We become overwhelmed. We become stressed out. Life is too short for these things. So moving forward with ease and grace is totally possible, especially when we've went through those first two steps. And I want us to talk about in this video how sometimes it's very scary to move forward. It is a lot of times moving forward or rising up, going to another level requires us to really be solid with us. So there is no resistance, because what we resist persists. So moving forward is what's needed, because what is the cost of things staying the same? If we continue to beat our head up against the wall, continue to deal with all of these problems, whether it's relationships, whether it's health, whether it's the business, whether it's trying to figure out your career, or whether it's the loss of a loved one. There's so many things that are going on right now that are causing us to be stuck. What really prevents us from moving forward with ease is a lot of the difficulties from trauma that we experienced. And even this pandemic right now is trauma. Even the situations that are going on with Black Lives Matter, that's trauma that's been there for 400 plus years. So when we talk about another level, when we talk about moving forward, we are talking about healing. We are talking about restoration. We're talking about growth. And in order to know where we're going, we got to be able to understand where we've been. Remember, I talked about it's okay not to be okay. We just can't stay there. Because we have a purpose to do, ladies and gentlemen. We have a calling to complete. I just have one little part and you have a little part. And then how are we bringing these parts together to make a big part? Because it is about prosperity powered by partnership and working together. And most importantly, in order to go to another level, that healing that I was talking about really comes with forgiveness. Forgiveness of self and forgiveness of other people. And that doesn't mean that they have to be in your life, that you have to continue to endure. But just know that without forgiveness and not without healing, we're continually, slowly self-destructing. We are not unforgiving. Is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. So what happens? Here's a great part. What happens when we heal and we are moving forward in ease and grace? The world opens up. The opportunities open up. You open up. And a lot of times as we're moving forward, that resistance that I was talking about before, it forces us to go against our fears of maybe not being seen. Or, one of the things I hear a lot is how growing up being seen and not heard, or sometimes not heard or seen, makes it difficult for us to be seen and heard as an adult. But it is our time to raise our voice and be seen and love every single part of you that makes you you. So what if people don't like how you are, or what message you have? That's their problem. You are called to be the amazing you that you are, to let your light shine so bright. See, sometimes people can't stand to see the shine. And so what? Shine anyway. Rise anyway. Grow and elevate anyway. Sometimes that letting go process, we lose relationships. We lose friends. We lose things that used to bring us so much that maybe we saw our worth in. We have to give up to go up. And out of the ashes, we rise like a phoenix. Because we got work to do. What's your calling? Are you living it? The richest places in the world? What is the richest places in the world? The graveyard. Because some had heard the call, but they were too scared to go after it. Well, now is the time to go after it. Now is the time to be who you've been called to be fully, and do what you've been called to do completely. So therefore you can have everything that you've been called to have entirely. Let's move forward, y'all. If we continue to hold on, or maybe not even really, sometimes we either hold on too tight to the outcome, or sometimes we run away from the burden because it can be too heavy. And when we run away from the burden, we run away from the blessing that comes with it too. So let's move forward. Let's come together. Because when we're moving forward and we're opening up our heart to receive, and we have that trust, truth, and transformation with ourselves and other people, that's how we heal the world. One person at a time. One message at a time. That's all we need. Because you know what? It's about success. It's about what we've been called to do. And are we doing it? And I get it. I mean, so I have to share, my husband is very full of wisdom. There was one other thing he said. He had said about fear. It's like if you haven't known fear, the fear is what makes you brave. How would you ever really know what being courageous and being brave like the lion is? We haven't gone through a lot of difficult times, a lot of trauma, a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, all of that. Because it is those things that when we're in that valley of the shadow of death, that we are grateful for when we rise up on the mountaintop and we look back and see all the amazing things that we've accomplished. It's easy to get focused on the negative things like, oh, I didn't do this, I'm not good enough, blah, blah, blah. But I challenge you to focus on the positive things, the wins, the successes that you've already accomplished. And if you already accomplished them then there's just so much more waiting for you in the future. So let's rise together. Send a comment, put a comment down below. Like, what was your biggest takeaway about this message? If you like this video, share it so therefore others can hear this message too. And I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Have an awesome day. Peace.